Okay, let's call this meeting to order. First, I'd like to know where the fire exits are. Just to my left here through this door, and then through this door to the rear of the room, which we all came through. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Do a roll call attendance, please.
Member Ertl.
Here.
Member Sprata.
Present.
Member Yarborough.
Here.
Member Menard.
Here.
And Acting Chairman Delaney.
Here. And legal notice, please.
Please take notice that the Zoning Board of Appeals of the Village of Depew will hold a public hearing on September 22nd, 2022 at 7 p.m. in the council chambers of the Municipal Building, 85 Manitou Street, Depew, New York, to consider the application of Alexandria Morphus on behalf of Antoinette Suites, Inc., for the property located at 5981 Transit Road, of Chapter 260, Subset 260, 26A2, Principal and Accessory Use / Dimensional Standards, Minimum Front Yard Setback, Vehicle Use Area, requesting relief of 5 feet. A pre-board meeting will begin at 6:30 p.m. in the OEM conference room of the Municipal Building, 85 Manitou Street, Depew, New York, and any and all persons interested in such application will be heard at this time.
Okay, please step forward, tell us your name and what you'd like to do.
David Wylear and Associates, or we're the architects for the project, and we're just seeking a 5-foot variance from the 10-foot setback to add on to, I guess, what is a non-conforming addition that was built many years ago, and we're simply going to extend that for handicap purposes, bathroom, a ramp, and protection from elements on the south parking lot.
Okay. Any of my fellow board members have questions for these folks? Member Sprata?
Are you still going to have another entrance on the other side of the building?
Yeah, that's existing, yes.
Okay, it stays as it is. Okay.
Nothing further, Member Sprata?
Nothing right now, no.
Member Menard?
No questions from me.
Member Ertl? Member Yarborough?
No.
Do you have anything from legal on this?
No, this, as I said in the pre-board, it's always a good idea to bring things up to ADA compliance standards, so happy to see this project going forward.
Okay, anything from code on this?
Nope, everything looks good. We've reviewed it, and it's a welcome addition.
I agree. Okay, so with that, I'm going to read out the 6 criteria for an area variance in New York State. I'm going to read your answers to those questions, and then I'm going to state any differentiation in what it should be. Number 1, will an undesirable change be produced in the character of the neighborhood or a detriment to nearby properties be created by granting of the area variance? You wrote no, and I would agree. Number 2, can the benefit sought by you, the applicant, be achieved by some other method other than an area variance? You wrote no, and that's true. 3, is the requested area variance substantial? You wrote no, and I would agree. Number 4, will the proposed area variance have an adverse effect or impact the physical or environmental conditions in the neighborhood or district? You wrote no, and I would agree. 5, is the alleged difficulty self-created, which consideration shall be relevant to the decision of the Zoning Board of Appeals, but not necessarily preclude the granting of the requested area variance? You wrote no, and in this case, that's probably true. And lastly, what is the minimum area variance deemed necessary and adequate? You wrote 5 feet. Is that that's accurate?
It's accurate.
Very good. All right, so with that said, would one of my fellow board members like to present a motion to grant or deny the variance as presented?
I'll make the motion to grant the variance.
Member Yarborough makes a motion. Second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Member Sprata. Roll call vote, please.
Member Sprata.
Yes.
Member Ertl.
Yes.
Member Yarborough.
Yes.
Member Menard.
Yes.
And Chairman Delaney.
Yes.
5 yes, variance granted.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Please take notice that the Zoning Board of Appeals of the Village of Depew will hold a public hearing on September 22nd, 2022 at 7 p.m. in the council chambers of the Municipal Building, 85 Manitou Street, Depew, New York, to consider the application of Joseph O'Brien for 5 variances for the property located at 5473 Transit Road of Chapter 260, subset 26024A2, maximum building coverage, requesting relief of 930 square feet, and of Chapter 260-260-24A2 minimum lot area, requesting relief of 4,000 square feet, and of Chapter 260, subset 260-24A2 minimum front yard setback, requesting relief of 25 feet, and of Chapter 260, subset 260-24A2 minimum side yard setback, requesting relief of 4.5 feet, and of Chapter 260, subset 260-24A2, minimum lot width requirements, requesting relief of 40 feet. A pre-board meeting will begin at 6:30 p.m. in the OEM conference room of the Municipal Building, 85 Manitou Street, Depew, New York, and any and all persons interested in such application will be heard at this time.
Okay, please step forward and tell us what you'd like to do.
I would just like to remodel my downstairs, turning it into an apartment, and live downstairs and rent out the upstairs.
Okay.
I've already been granted variance for residential. It was commercial zoning.
The use variance. Okay. Questions from the board? Member Sprata?
My one problem is in the wintertime, snow, and you said before in a previous time that you were here that you would put any snow on your property onto the property next door where the bike shop is, and he was okay with that? Is that
Yeah.
correct, or has
Correct.
that changed?
That's correct, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I also take care of their sidewalks with my snow blower, so, yeah.
One hand washes the
Yeah.
other.
Right.
All right.
Hear that.
Okay. Anything further, Member Sprata?
No.
Okay. Member Menard?
None, no questions.
Member Yarborough? Member Erdahl?
No.
Any questions, comments, concerns from you, legal?
No, and I reviewed the minutes from our last board meeting when we did grant the variance to change this to residential. There was a suggestion a design professional get involved, but it wasn't a stipulation to the approval. That was a little muddy at the end of the minutes, so I just wanted to make sure everyone was aware of that. With that said, it's my understanding you have started talking to a design professional?
Yes, Dean Architect, yeah, they're
That's great.
gonna do a blueprint for me with all the codes, yeah.
What do we have on this from code?
Nothing, Mr. O'Brien and me have met multiple times now.
Yeah.
Kind of hashed out ways for him to be able to put it in with the secondary means of egress, the parking situation. Obviously, you just discussed the snow, so I wasn't aware that he does that for the neighbor, but it makes sense now. One hand does wash the other. The bike shop is obviously not in use in the winter, so it's not really a big deal to put the excessive snow there.
Yeah, they plow all our snow up to my fence, so I pile it on top of theirs. You know, yeah.
So with him seeking help from Dean Architects, it will help with, meeting the requirements of turning the inside into, to meet the existing codes that are required today. So I'm okay with that. And the rest, you all already know about, so I guess that's it.
Okay. Excellent. So what I'm going to do now is, given that there are 5 different variances here, I'm going to read through the 6 criteria like I normally would, but I'm going to sort of note for each variance what the correct answer would be here. So let's start with that. Number 1. Question is, will an undesirable change be produced in the character of the neighborhood or a detriment to nearby properties be created by granting of the area variance. And Mr. O'Brien, you wrote, nothing on the outside will change, just on the interior. And that's likely true, so let's hear. With regard to, number one, the building coverage relief, I would say that that's true. Number two, with regard to the minimum lot area relief of 4,000 square feet, that would be true as well. 3 refers to the minimum front yard setback, requesting relief of 25 feet. That's the one I probably have most concern about, but I would say that that wouldn't produce detriment to nearby properties. And 4, the side yard setback, requesting relief of 4.5 feet, that's also true. And lastly, the lot width requirement, requesting relief of 40 feet. I would lastly say that that's true. So number 2, can the benefit sought by you, the applicant, be achieved by some other method other than an area variance? You wrote no, and I would say that that's true for all of the above. 3, is the requested area variance substantial? You wrote yes, and I would say that, let's see, for number 1, yes, I would say substantial. Number 2, the lot area, that's substantial. Number 3, the front yard setback is substantial. 4, the side yard setback, you said substantial? I wouldn't say so. Number 5, the lot width requirement requesting relief of 40 feet, I would say that's also substantial. Number 4, will the proposed area variance have an adverse effect or impact the physical or environmental conditions in the neighborhood or district? You wrote no, and for all 5, I would say that that's true. 5, is the alleged difficulty self-created, which consideration shall be relevant to the decision of the Zoning Board of Appeals, but not necessarily preclude the granting of the requested area variance? You wrote yes, and I would say that yes is the correct answer for all 5. And lastly, 6, what is the minimum area variance deemed necessary and adequate? You wrote minimum lot area required is 7,500 square feet. Property only has 3,500 square feet. Requesting relief of 4,000 square feet. That would pertain to number 3, what I've been referring to as number 3, the minimum lot area, and that's accurate. When we're talking about the maximum building coverage, the variance requested, oh, is there, oh, very good. So then, with regard to the front yard setback, we're looking at 25 feet, and that's, we have there. And for the side yard setback, you wrote 4.5, or you wrote, sorry, 4 to 5 feet of relief. And I think it's 4.5 feet exactly.
Well, he has 1 foot 7 inches he owns there, and what he's requesting is 4 foot 5 inches of relief. It just probably doesn't look,
Oh, okay.
looks like 4.5 feet, but it's
Yeah.
actually 4 foot 5 inches.
Okay.
Is the exact
Okay.
measurement.
That's actually, looking at it again, that's what he has written here, but on the thing it looks like 4.5. Okay, very good. Then we have minimum lot width, which would be 40 feet, and that's 40 linear feet, not 40 square feet.
Yeah, 40 linear feet, so it's, it requires 75 foot minimum. Property is only 35 foot, so he requires 40 linear feet of relief.
And then going back to the first one, maximum building coverage, the relief requested is 930 square feet.
Yes. So it's a 40% roll, and 40% of 3,500 square foot is 1,400 square foot. So he's requesting 930 square foot of relief.
Okay, very good. Okay, so now with all that being said, do we have a motion put forth to grant or deny this variance as presented?
Do we need to make a motion for each variance, Sam, separately?
Very good question.
Okay, so there's 4 variances.
Five.
Five variances, my God. Mr. O'Brien.
Ignore 'em.
You can make a motion that we approve the slate of variances as long as you've read all the differential criteria. So there were a few questions that were different, right? The last one. So as long as that's on the record, you can make someone can make a motion that we approve the slate of variances, yes.
Would someone like to make that motion? As Mr. Alba put it, the slate of variances being granted.
I'll make the motion
Okay.
to
Member
approve.
Yarborough makes a motion to grant the slate of variances as a whole. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Member Sprata seconds that motion. Roll call vote, please.
Member Sprata,
Yes.
Member Erdl,
Yes.
Member Yarborough,
Yes.
Member Menard,
Yes.
and Chairman Delaney.
Yes.
5 yes, variance granted.
Well, thank you all
Thank you,
very
Mr.
much.
Bryan.
Thank you.
Good. You're very welcome.
All right.
See you soon.
Congratulations, good luck.
We have a motion to close the hearing.
Welcome.
I'll make a motion to close the hearing.
Second.
You're welcome.
I second the motion.
All in favor of closing the meeting, say aye.
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 Congratulations, Mr. O'Brien. It's much easier than last time.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Good luck with
Thank you.
Sounds like a wonderful project.
Probably looking for that.
Have a nice evening.
You too.
No, it's not, but, you know, stuff just falls out everywhere lately.
Oh, I almost forgot my complimentary water.
You always take it.
If I remember it.